Asaph has laid his case before the throne. He has named the enemy's arrogance, the sanctuary's ruins, the oppressed congregation, and the cruelty in the dark places. Asaph has appealed to the covenant. He has prayed that the poor do not return ashamed. Now he does something that separates this psalm from an ordinary lament. He turns the entire argument around and makes it about God. Arise, O God, plead thine own cause. Remember how the foolish man reproacheth thee daily. Psalm 74, verse 22. The command is direct. Arise. Asaph does not say arise and plead Israel's cause. He urges God to plead his own cause. The shift is deliberate and carries enormous weight. Throughout this psalm, Asaph has described Israel's suffering, the congregation of the poor, the oppressed, who cannot return ashamed. But here, he reframes the entire conflict. The enemy has not just attacked Israel. The enemy has attacked God. Every axe swung against the cedar panels of the sanctuary was swung against God's name. The banner planted inside the holy place was planted in defiance of God's claim. Every fire set against the meeting places in Israel was set against the God who dwelt among his people. The foolish man who reproaches God is not a philosophical skeptic. He is the man who acts as though God neither sees nor governs, who operates in the dark places with cruelty and blasphemy because he believes God will not answer. Asaph tells God that this reproach is not occasional. It happens daily. The word daily carries the same weight it carries in the Lord's Prayer, describing something that does not pause. His enemy does not reproach God on festival days and then rest on ordinary ones. The blasphemy runs morning and evening without interruption. Asaph places this daily reproach before God as an argument, not just a complaint. A God who allows his name to be reproached without answer gives the foolish man reason to continue. The petition presses God to act on his own behalf. Asaph has already asked God to act for the congregation of the poor. Now he asks God to act for himself, for the honor of his own name and the vindication of his own word. The two petitions are not in competition. When God arises to plead his own cause, the oppressed are delivered in the same moment. Forget not the voice of thine enemies. The tumult of those that rise up against thee increaseth continually. Psalm 74, verse 23. The last verse presses the argument further. Asaph asks God not to forget the voice of his enemies. The voice is not a single declaration, but a continuous noise, a tumult. The word tumult describes the uproar of a crowd, the combined sound of many voices rising together in opposition. These are not quiet opponents. They are loud and organized. The word increaseth is the key. The tumult does not remain at a fixed level. Every day that God appears to withhold his hand, the enemy's confidence expands. Their noise increases because silence from heaven seems to them as permission. Their rising against God gains momentum from the absence of visible judgment. Asaph ends the psalm here, with the tumult still rising. There is no recorded answer. No fire falls from heaven. No enemy is scattered. The psalm closes with the noise of God's enemies filling the earth and the petition still hanging before the throne. Asaph has done what the covenant people are called to do when the dark places fill with cruelty and the sanctuary lies in ruins. He has brought the cruelty, the daily reproach, and the rising tumult before God and left them there.